Dear viewers, welcome to our channel GVS Bank Academy. Today I am going to discuss about CAIB, BFM, Bank Financial Management, Module D. Module D, case study on stock approach and flow approach for measuring and managing liquidity risk. This question they are asking in all the examinations of BFM paper continuously. Each and every examination they are asking for 5 marks. Stock approach and flow approach. Stock approach means managing liquidity or liquidity risk. Stock approach means stock approach means based on bank's balance sheet. Suppose if you are calculating the liquidity risk management stock approach ratios on June, you are going to take the balance sheet figures of March 2021. Means stock approach calculations based on bank's balance sheet figures. Previous banks, previous year, previous quarter balance sheet amounts. It may be liabilities, it may be assets, it may be capital, it may be liquid assets, whatever it may be, based on outstanding banks balance sheet positions they are taking. That's why that is called as stock approach. Means already completed quarter or completed year balance sheet figures you are taking. Liquidity risk means to manage the payments obligations. Liquidity risk management means bank is a running organization. Always the bank has to manage the liquidity position to meet its payment obligations, to meet its loans disbursement obligations. That's why how we are going to manage this stock approach liquidity. The following ratios are calculated to assess the liquidity position of the bank. Under stock approach, the following ratios are going to be calculated and will be decided what is the extent of liquidity problem in the bank. What ratios? There are 9 ratios are there. One by one we can see. The following ratios are calculated to assess the liquidity position of a bank. Request to all, this question is compulsory in BFM paper. Each and every time they are asking 5 marks case study. The first ratio is ratio of core deposits. Core means permanent, you can say permanent deposits. Core deposits to total assets. Ratio of core deposits to total assets. Total assets of the bank to core deposits. So, core deposits by total assets from the bank balance sheet. What is meant by core deposits? Core deposits means public deposits. In the normal course of business, banks are taking deposits from the public. That is called core deposits. Core deposits means deposit from the customers in the normal course of business. So, ratio of core deposits to total assets. Core deposit to total assets. When compared to total assets, core deposits are more, that is good sign. When compared to total assets of the bank as a whole, if core deposits are more, the bank cannot face liquidity problem. That is called ratio of core deposits, public deposit to total assets of the bank. So more the ratio, better it is. So when compared to total assets, core deposits are more, the bank can sustain the liquidity risk. So more the ratio, better it is. So core deposit to total assets, more the ratio, better it is. Number two ratio, net loan to total deposits. Net loans means total loans to total deposits. Lower the ratio, better it is. Lower. When compared to total deposits, loans at lower side is best. When compared to total deposits of the bank to net loans is better to lower side. When compared to total deposits, net loans, it is better to lower side. That's why lower the ratio, better it is. Now, credit deposit ratio. You have to know in this point, credit deposit ratio of the bank. How we are going to calculate credit deposit ratio? Total loans of the bank divided by total deposits into 100. Credit deposit ratio. Total loans as per bank balance sheet divided by total deposits as per bank balance sheet liabilities into 100. Credit deposit ratio. In this ratio also, it is linked to this ratio. So, when compared to deposits, loans must be lower side. Lower the ratio, better it is. That is ratio number 2. 3. Third ratio. Ratio of time deposit to total deposits. Time deposits means minimum 7 days. Time deposit maximum up to 10 years also bank. Ratio of time deposit to total deposits. And out of total deposits, time deposits are more, the bank can pay the liquidity question very well. That's why higher the ratio, better it is. From the liquidity management, and compared to total deposits, time deposits are more, that is best. That's why ratio of time deposit to total deposits, higher the ratio, better it is. This is the third ratio. Fourth, ratio of volatile liabilities means fluctuated liabilities or market borrowings. Market borrowing to total assets. Ratio of volatile liabilities or market borrowing to total assets. Out of total assets, market borrowings always lesser, low it is better, because from the total assets, if you can compare, market borrowings always less. Lower the ratio, better it is. From the liquidity management of the bank, and compared to total assets of the bank, market borrowings are always lower the ratio, better it is. Now here you have to know what is meant by market borrowings. Market borrowings examples. What is meant by market borrowings? Call money, overnight borrowing. Notice money, 2 to 14 days borrowing. Term money, 15 days to 1 year. Call money overnight, notice money 2 to 14 days, term money 15 days to 1 year borrowing. And repo, borrowing from RBI, and interbank borrowings also. And margin standing facility, this is also one window available to the bankers, that under this margin standing facility, banks are allowed to borrow from Reserve Bank of India 3% of their NDTL, net demand and time liabilities. Equivalent to 3% of NDTL amount they can borrow under this window. Rate of interest is bank rate, that is presently 4.25. And triparty repo, TRIPS, triparty repo means borrowing from CCIL, Clearing Corporation of India. 1 day to 1 year. TRIPS borrowing from 1 day to 1 year. TRIPS, triparty repo, managed by Clearing Corporation of India, number 1. This is minimum 1 day, maximum 1 day, maximum 1 year, triparty repo. So these are the examples of market borrowings. Market borrowings examples. Fifth ratio. Ratio of short-term liability to liquid assets. Liquid assets means which can be converted into cash easily, immediately, without any cost, without any loss of time. That is called liquid assets. Total liquid assets of the bank to term liabilities, short-term liabilities means liabilities payable within the short term, means lesser period, less than 1 year, always lower period. When compared to liquid assets of the bank, short-term borrowings are better on the lower side. That's why to be lower. So ratio of short-term liabilities, normally payable within short term, generally 90 days, 180 days, less than 1 year, we can call as short-term liabilities. To liquid assets. Liquid assets means cash, cash equivalents, SLR securities. Other definition is which can be converted into cash without waste of time, without loss of money. You can convert the assets into cash. That is called liquid assets. Gold is also. It is when compared to short-term liabilities to liquid assets, short-term liabilities always better to on lower side. So these are the 5 ratios in this slide. Now 2 words, core deposits, you have to know. Core deposits means public deposits, number one. Market borrowings, you have to know clearly. Without knowing core deposits, without knowing market borrowings, we cannot answer this question. So market borrowings means examples also we have discussed. So this is 5 ratios, 2 terms, 2 new terms, core deposits, market borrowing. Ratio of liquid assets to total assets. Just now we have discussed liquid assets. Out of total assets, liquid assets are more, the bank can manage the liquidity very well. So out of total assets of the bank from the bank's balance sheet, liquid assets are more, then the bank can manage the liquidity. Higher the ratio, better it is. So liquid assets are more to total assets, higher the ratio, better it is. What are the liquid assets? Bank balances. If you are maintaining cash with other bank, that is bank balances. Money at call, overnight. If you are invested, investment in call money, overnight market, short term notice, 1 to 2 to 14 or 15 days to 1 year. Interbank placement also. If you are having interbank placement deposits also, that is also due within 1 month. Securities, Government of India securities, held for trading, held for trade category. Securities held for trade category also immediately bank can sell, and available for sale category also. Under liquid assets, bank balances will come, money at call and short notice also, interbank placement with in 1 month, held for trading, HFT, held for trading securities, and available for sale security. This is the investment classification. Held for trading, available for sale, and held to maturity. This is the classification of investments. Held for trading and available for sale securities also, we can sell immediately in the market. That's why we are treating part of liquid assets. Now, just I am discussing for held to investment classification, held to maturity. Investment classification, one classification is held to maturity. These are permanent securities, Government of India securities. This is also called as SLR, statutory liquidity ratio securities. These held to maturity securities are going to be parked in banking book. Banking book example means Government of India. This question they are asking in banking book is asking in treasury, BFM. What is meant by banking book? Under banking book, permanent securities, normally SLR, Government of India securities are going to be parked. In banking book, no market to market valuations are required. What are the securities banks are parking under banking book? Market to market valuations are not required. Market to market means revaluations as per ruling market rate. Held for trading securities. This is another classification of investments. One is HTM, held to maturity. Another classification is held for trading. Whatever the securities banks are parking under held for trading, these securities are maximum are allowed in under this bucket is 90 days. From the date of parking under this category held for trading, they have to dispose of within 90 days from the date of transferring to this. So maximum allowed period is 90 days. Objective is for trading purpose, profit motive. For that purpose only. This is called trading book. Held for trading securities are going to be parked in trading book. Trading book means not permanent, number one. Number two, in the trading book securities, bank has to calculate market to market valuations. That is revaluations as per ruling prevailing today's market rate. That is called MTM valuations are required, revaluations are required. That is held for trade. Then available for sale. Available for sale, this is also trading book. Trading book means you have to remember MTM valuations are required. Revaluations are required as per today's prevailing market rate. This is the investment classification held to maturity, held for trading, available for sale. Held to maturity banking book, no MTM valuations required. Held for trading, available for sale, trading book, MTM valuations are required. And held for trading, maximum allowed period to continue in this category only 90 days. This is about a little bit about HTML. bank has to decide the investments are going to be parked in HTM, HFT available for sale on the date of purchase of the securities. On the date of purchase of the securities, the bank treasury department has to decide where they are going to be parked, either in HTM or in held for trading or in available for sale. This is question number 6. Liquid assets to total assets. Higher is the best. Then 7th, ratio of short-term liabilities to total assets. Always short-term means liquidity problem is there. That way you have to remember always bank has to discourage short-term borrowings or short-term liabilities. To total assets, lower ratio is desirable. And compared to total assets, short-term liabilities are very less in that bank. There is no liquidity problem in that bank. That's why lower ratio is desirable. They are asking 1 mark, 2 marks question also. Ratio of short-term liability total assets. Higher is best, lower is best, not at all comes under stock approach. Then they are structuring a question on each and every ratio point also. That's why you have to remember these ratios. Ratio of prime assets to total assets. Prime assets. This is what is important. Prime assets to total assets, more or higher. What is meant by prime assets? Prime assets may include cash balance with bank. So equivalent prime means cash. Cash balance with bank. Balances with banks including RBI, which can be withdrawn at any time without any given notice. So this is called prime assets. So they may ask one question directly, what are the examples of prime assets? The answer is cash balances with bank, balances with other banks, balances with Reserve Bank of India, which can be withdrawn at any time without giving notice. If prime assets are more, the bank can manage the liquidity very well indeed. The bank cannot face any problem. That's why when prime assets are more to total assets, that is best for liquidity management. More or higher the ratio, better it is. So prime assets also, you have to know the meaning of prime assets. Then for stock approach, 9th point, ratio of market liabilities to total assets. Market liabilities. Market liabilities means borrowing from the market, from RBI, from other banks, from certificate of deposit, all will come under market borrowings or market liabilities. To total assets, when compared to total assets, it is always better advisable the market liabilities must be lower side. Ratio of market liabilities, borrowings from the market to total assets, lower the ratio, better it is. Why lower ratio is better? Market liabilities are low means the bank liquidity payment is less. Liquidity problem is less. If market liabilities are more, if the market liabilities are coming for payment, the bank has to face a liquidity problem. That's why these are the 9 ratios are stock ratios. You have to understand stock means from the bank's balance sheet, assets and liabilities we are calculating. Market liabilities, liability, total assets, assets, prime assets. This is also part of assets, total assets. So we are calculating the ratios for the liquidity management from the bank's balance sheet, liabilities and assets. That's why this is called as stock approach. Stock means based on previous earlier figures we are calculating. That's why this is stock approach to measure. Then one more measure is there, that is called market liabilities. Include money market borrowings. Money market means 1 day to 1 year. Market liabilities means money market 1 day to 1 year borrowings are there. That is money market regulatory is RBI. Money market instruments are certificate of deposit, call money, notice money, repo, reverse repo, all will come. Interbank liabilities repo within. This is about flow approach to measuring and managing liquidity problem. Flow approach. Now, just now we are discussed about stock approach. And from the meaning itself, we can know flow approach means it is a dynamic approach. Flow approach means based on present circumstances of the bank. what is the present today's circumstances about the bank's liquidity management. So when compared to stock approach, flow approach is dynamic. Flow approach is today's bank's balance sheet liquidity position. That's why now presently almost all banks are depending and studying and taking into consideration of flow approach rather than stock approach. What is their stock approach? Today, flow approach means today's market conditions, today's bank's balance sheet position. Flow approach to measuring and managing liquidity risks. What are the dimensions? What are there? Measuring and managing net funding requirements. What is the amount required as of today? That is called measuring. How much net funding required? For today's bank's balance sheet management, a particular bank, how much required? That is called measuring. Managing. Suppose one bank required 1000 crores liquidity today. How they are going to borrow or managing? How they are going to borrow? That is called managing. Measuring the funding requirement means how much required today and from where they are going to borrow. Managing. That is called measuring and managing net funding requirement. Net funding requirement means total total receipts minus total payments. Suppose total receipts are less and total payments are more, then the bank required funding immediately. Because the payments are more, receipts are less. This is going to be calculated from ALM, structure liquidity. ALM structure liquidity statement is there. What is the structure liquidity maturity ladder? ALM 10 buckets are there. 1 day, first bucket, 2 to 7 days, second bucket, 8 to 14 days, third bucket, and 15 days to 30 days, fourth bucket. And then afterwards, another 6 buckets are there. So, for the liquidity management, 1 to 30 days means first 4 buckets are very, very important. For that, we are calculating leverage ratio also. Leverage ratio. Liquidity coverage ratio also we are calculating for 1 to 30 days maturity ladder based on contractual maturities as per ALM structure liquidity. 10 buckets are there. Based on 10 buckets preparation, we know how much funding requirements are required for that bank. That is measuring and managing net funding requirements. Alternative scenarios. What is the other scenarios, other estimates? What are the general market conditions? If general market conditions, liquidity is good, the bank cannot face. General market, liquidity available freely, the bank cannot face liquidity freely. That is called general market. If general market conditions, prevailing general market conditions are not favorable, very rigid conditions are there, tight conditions are there, the bank can face the liquidity problem for further aggravate. So the general market conditions. Bank specific crisis. What is the state of the bank? What is the rating of the bank? What is the public opinion of the bank? What is the bank losses are there? Not. How much the bank customers are withdrawing the money. We had seen last year and this year also 2-3 banks. Bank specific crisis. If a particular bank is having a specific problem, at that time, definitely Reserve Bank of India, other major big banks, they have to support. We had seen also 2020, in 2020. And general market crisis. If the entire market is also under crisis, definitely that is systemic risk. When entire general market conditions are crisis, systemic risk, all banks are facing. That's why you have to see whether bank specific or general market. So bank specific crisis and general market crisis you have to see. Planning. The bank has to plan, the bank top management, the bank asset liability management, the bank ALCO committee, they have to make a strategy for handling a crisis, assessing an emergency. If there is an emergency for crisis liquidity management, how they are going to plan? What are the plannings are there? If SLR securities are more, they can borrow under MSF margin standing facility. They can sell in the market. they will borrow under tripartite repo. They can go for call money market, notice money, term money. That is also when excess SLR securities are there. Planning whether they can go for issue of certificate of deposit. Other they may go a lender of the last issues from RBI for line of credit. That is there. Market liquidity conditions. This is important. When market liquidity conditions are good, liquidity available freely, even though bank is having specific bank is crisis, the bank can manage the crisis very well. But market liquidity scenarios are not supporting, not good, not cooperative. The bank specific problem is going to be aggravated. Measuring liquidity over the chosen time frame. As for ALM, contractual maturities, the bank has to identify in which bucket the bank is having liquidity problem. Accordingly, the bank has to take steps to mobilize funds to mismatch particular time buckets. That is it. Then assumptions used in determining cash flows. This is normally cash flows means normally cash flows for the bank, fresh deposits or recovery. Cash inflows to the bank, one is major is deposits, fresh deposits or recoveries from advances. That is it. This is one. Number two, managing market assets. If a particular bank is having specific crisis, how easily the bank can enter into market? How easily the bank can mobilize certificate of deposit? How easily the bank can borrow from call money, notice money, term money market? How easily the bank can borrow from under MSF? How easily the bank can borrow from TRIPS, tripartite repo, CCL? The banks need to examine the level of reliance. So, at the time of crisis, the bank has to select the option where which window, which direction they want to borrow from individual sources or from term lending institutions or from other banks or from Reserve Bank of India or bulk deposits. They have to chart a plan that is there. And what type of instrument they are going to issue, whether that is certificate of deposit or tripartite repo, margin standing facility, line of credit from RBI, whatever it may be, they have to decide in advance which type of instrument the bank is going to issue in the crisis. And who are the nature of providers of funds? Nature of providers of funds. In the crisis, it is better to depend on bulk corporate customers. Reserve Bank of India, big banks, certificate of deposits, tripartite borrowing, margin standing facility borrowings. So, who will provide at the time of requirement crisis to the bank means that is the in advance the bank has to plan nature of who will provider of funds also they have to chart out. And geographic market. If there is a requirement is there, whether the bank is going to enter into domestic market or the bank is going to issue shares to foreign institutional investors or portfolio institutional investors or ADR, American Deposit Receipt or GDR, Global Deposit Receipts or any foreign currency borrowings or from which market, geographically means from which country, which market, that they have to decide. This is called managing market assets. Contingency crisis is denoted by, so they have to contingency, actual contingency came strategy for handling a crisis. Actually problem occurs, actual problem arises, how the bank is going to handle or subsum the crisis and backup liquidity for emergency situations. Emergency situations, margin standing facility, selling of securities from held for trading available for sale securities, tripartite repo, if excess SLR securities are there, interbank borrowings, call money, notice money borrowings, or line of credit from RBI or from other banks, issue of certificate of deposit to other major big banks. So these are the flow approach. So stock approach based on ratios, previous figures. Flow approach is dynamic. Today's situation, today's present scenarios, we are calculating the liquidity frozen. That is called flow approach. Dear viewers, the stock approach and flow approach, this is a compulsory question in BFM paper. That too, they are asking 5 marks question. So thank you very much viewers for extending wholehearted support to our channel. Thank you very much. This is my submission on this.